Yes, it's that time. It's time to stop hiding. The game is upon us. It's weekend tomorrow, where Friday is officially the weekend, isn't it? We're deciding it is. And that means FA Cup quarter-final stage. It doesn't get any bigger than Man United at Old Trafford on a Sunday afternoon in the FA Cup with a place at Wembley at stake. There's only one man to bring in tonight to start looking ahead to this, and that's our man, Jay. We're going to talk about other news, but first of all, Jay, massive game. Welcome to the show, my man. How are you feeling ahead of this? What can only be described as monumental, huge, massive, crucial, whatever word you want to throw in there as well.
Adam, a few days out from El Clasico of the North, and I am feeling quite confident.
You were saying this. You were saying this off camera.
Yeah, man.
We fancy a bit of an upset this weekend, people. I mean, you tell us in the chat. Get your comments coming in. Obviously, make sure you like the video as well if you're agreeing with the positivity that we're starting this video with. I mean, Liverpool, now they're playing. How we are coming to the conclusion that United have got a chance in this game needs explanation alone. So we're going to have to get into this, Jay, and sort of speak our minds on where we see United getting anything out of this game at all. But, I mean, start us off. Does certain players coming back play a key role in your mind and thinking that we can get something this weekend?
Rasmus Højlund coming back, for me, is the crucial comeback. Rasmus Højlund playing. We're a different team. That front line is a different opponent entirely. I don't think even Virgil van Dijk will relish coming up against the young, fitter legs of Rasmus. So I'd love to see that battle, Van Dijk v Rasmus. That would be my battle of the day. But then we are also left with our Wan-Bissaka coming back, and our Wan-Bissaka does one thing really, really well. He tackles. I think a couple of years ago, a former colleague of ours dubbed him Aaron Wan-Bissaka. So Aaron Wan-Bissaka, you know what you're going to get. There's no frills. He probably won't pass the halfway line too much. He probably is not going to put many crosses in the box, but we got the low for that. So if we have our Wan-Bissaka at the playing full back and not one of your favorite players, Victor Lindelof, I would be quite confident. If I see a back line of no Johnny Evans, Maguire playing beside Varane, my thoughts of positivity will diminish very, very fast, Adam.
Yeah, that is the worry. It's all about that team selection, isn't it? I mean, for me, first of all, welcome to the members club. Ed Barrett, gifted by London 1965-7. Thank you, my man, legend of the channel. Make sure you give him a thank you as well, Ed, in the chat. Quickly just seeing a chat come up there. Adam says, they have a chance, all right. A snowball's chance in hell. Not confident then, Adam. No. We have another member in the house, which is Adam himself, who's just become a member, gifted by General Foodie. Thank you, General Foodie. And Adam, we're going to have to start getting you with some more positive vibes on that now you've become a member all of a sudden, mate. But yeah, welcome to the club, my friend. Me, looking at this game, Jay, I'm looking into Liverpool playing tonight. I know they're going to rest players because they're already miles ahead. But just the workload on Liverpool compared to United, there's no excuse for us to be throwing absolutely everything into this game because it's international break after it with no game for 2 weeks. If anyone is trying to hold or save themselves in this game because they're thinking of playing for the countries, then they don't belong at the football club, in my opinion. That is it. See you later. You should be dying on that pitch this weekend and giving absolutely everything. I just feel like with nothing happening next week, I just feel like this team is just going to go into this game and give everything. The atmosphere should be up. Yes, 9,000 Liverpool fans. It's going to be some atmosphere. They're going to be noisy. United are going to have to match it. Can the players latch on to that atmosphere and use it? Actually use the atmosphere in the stadium to actually help them perform. Give them that little bit more drive in the game, I think. And I just look at it and go, we should be absolutely buzzing for this game. Rasmus coming back to this game, like a United fan, Liverpool in the FA Cup for a chance to get to Wembley by knocking Liverpool down a peg. There's no better incentive, is there not, Jay, for that, for any one of these players?
Adam, you're spot on with that. No player in that team / squad should go to that stadium on Sunday thinking, oh, next week, international break, maybe I should hold back a little bit. Each and every player has to give 100%, and nothing less. Any player that's moping around with their hands on their hips, any player that is playing stupid ass Hollywood 60-yard passes that's going to nobody, and any player that simply won't track back simply should not be on the pitch. And I think from early doors, if Ten Hag sees players, I don't care who they are, if they're Rashford, if they're Bruno, whoever they are, if they're not putting a shift in from the off, get them off the pitch. You got a whole bench. You can make 5 subs, so use them. Send a message to players that if you work with isn't at a high level. And also, Adam, we start games now. Obviously, the Man City game recently that bucked the trend. We start games, Adam, notoriously slow. I don't know. Like, you go to games, Adam, you've seen what these players do for the warm-ups. How high intense is that warm-up, or is it simply knocking passes around, little 20-yard runs and shooting at goal? How intense is the warm-up? Because the warm-up for me is a crucial part of how intense these players go out from the first whistle.
They should be pumped, like you said, Jay. They should be. United's workout and the warm-up is always been known to be drab. It's always known to be, I don't know what the word is to describe it, really, lackluster. It's a general warm-up, basically. Knock the ball around, one or two men in the middle of the circle, then shooting practice, a few running drills, warming, stretching, just a general normal routine, nothing special. I don't think Liverpool's is much different, to be honest, but I think it's the mindset of Liverpool players which is different to United. Their intensity levels are, I cannot stop running. So this is their mindset. I cannot stop running, otherwise Klopp is going to haul me off this pitch and I'm going to be ashamed walking off this pitch in this game. That is what you need to match against Liverpool. Straight away, straight out of the box, you need to be at them. You need to be hitting tackle. Pretty much like Leacher did last season in that crunch game for Ten Hag. We're on the back of losing 3 games in a row to start a season. And Leacher went through the back of Salah, set the tone for the game, and that was it. United never looked back from that moment. You need to look like you're in this game. You're up for it and you're raring to go from the off. Because if you're not, if we do concede the goal early on in this, then I think it's a worry and it's doom and gloom, because Liverpool will pick us off for chasing the game. We need to score the first goal, I feel, in this one. And I think a quick start for United definitely sets the tone and gets the atmosphere up. A slow start and Liverpool go in front possibly, then you know you're going to be hearing them Liverpool fans, and the atmosphere is going to turn a little bit sour within the United's ends, and that's what we can't afford. We cannot afford that tomorrow. On Sunday. It will be taken away by it, and Liverpool will walk the game. We need to be above and beyond up for it, in my opinion. I mean, getting into the team itself, there's already questions coming in. Would you start Maguire? I mean, if Evans is fit, you want him in, but is it automatically Maguire who comes in for you if Evans isn't fit, Jay?
I think you just asked me the most rhetorical of rhetoricals. I wouldn't have Harry Maguire near a first 11. But without Johnny Evans, 35-year-old Johnny, who is plan B? Do you play Victor Lindelof beside Varane? Possibly not. And so who's left? It's you referenced a great point there about that tackle Leach did a couple seasons ago, and very early doors in the game went in and literally cleaned out Salah. I don't think Salah wanted the ball for the next 10 minutes because he knew it was coming. So in any derby game, it's about getting the home crowd on side from minute 1. And you used to reference there 9,000 Liverpool fans. Their voices, if they are out chanting, out singing United fans at Old Trafford in our own house, the players are going to pick up on it, and the intensity levels of the players are going to drop. So I think also the crowd is paramount also on Sunday.
Yeah, the crowd is everything. The atmosphere has to be bang on, because we've said before, and we're going to get into Erik Ten Hag and what this means for him this game. I think this is the game to turn things around. If you can knock Liverpool away from that quadruple, take one trophy away from them and book yourself a spot at Wembley, then it's well and truly game on, isn't it? It really is for the season. That is a momentum booster right there. If you get beaten badly, then you're in trouble, aren't you? And the questions that he'll be asked and the questions he'll need to answer after that game will be uncomfortable. And then you're going into a 2-week break sitting on the back of a negative result. Whereas you flip it and what we're saying, Jay, it could be massive. These players going away into international duty off the back of a win in the quarter-final against Liverpool, that is huge. Absolutely huge. And I think that's what these players need. Need this more than anything. I think it would be setting up the end of the season and giving us half a chance, especially with possibly Leacher and Mason Mount coming back when we get back from international break as well. It's a mood lifter, isn't it, mate? That's what it is.
Yeah, it is. There's a very famous book called A Tipping Point. If I want to check it out, it's about these key life decisions and the long-term effect it has on your life, your career, and your family. Tomorrow, for me, this game. Sorry, I'm saying tomorrow. I keep saying tomorrow. Sunday. This game for Ten Hag, it's a tipping point game for his tenure at the club. Badly beaten. I'll hold by what I said over a month ago. If he gets beaten badly at home at Liverpool, I think he's gone. It's over. It's done. He beats Liverpool. By hook or by crook, gets to an FA Cup semi-final. I think if he even gets to the final, Adam, not even win the cup, I think he'll buy himself 2 more years. So yes, tipping point game for Ten Hag. So if he cannot get these players up for Liverpool at home, FA Cup, he shouldn't be there.
He shouldn't, but also these players need to be getting themselves up for this one, don't they? There shouldn't be any excuse, really.
Well, look, we've been talking for many years about the weak mentality that's infested that dressing room for many, many, many years. And I wish I had the answer, Adam. I wish you the answer. None of us have an answer. Like, what needs to happen in that change room to change that mentality of these players to actually get fired up, want to play for the fans, want to play for the jersey. One of the very few players that has it is Licha, which unfortunately he's not in the pitch. Like our front line, out of our front line, Garnacho has it, Rasmus has it. I don't think Anthony has it, but he won't play. And our old friend Marcus Rashford, he won't have it. Liverpool will probably have more shots on Sunday than he had in Belfast. So it's going to be a very, very tough game. But as I go back to what I said, tipping point game, can these players rise to the occasion?
Well, that's it, mate. It's all about mentality, this game. Fitness levels are there. We've had plenty of preparation time. There's no reason at all why we won't be more prepared than Liverpool in terms of fitness. Certain players coming back. Are you giving them a certain amount of game time? I don't think we should be playing Rasmus the whole game. We need to make sure that he is fully fit, ready for the running, I think. And bring him back, maybe get an hour out of him, possibly. Are you thinking along them lines, Jay?
So the big question is, do we start him or bring him off the bench at 1-1 or 0-0? So if we don't start him, we're left with Rashford up top, Bruno in midfield with Casemiro, Menu, and Garnacho on one wing, or another on the left. Then option B, you could drop Rashford, which I'd love to happen, but it won't happen. Put Rashford out in the wing and bring McTominay into the middle. But that's a very huge decision that Ten Hag. I don't think he's going to drop Rashford, the post boy of the club, the marketing man's dream for a Classico of the North. I don't think he's going to do it. Now, I don't want people watching to say, "Oh, Jay, you're almost hard on Rashford, almost hard on Rashford." I would love the man to score the winner on Sunday and still Liverpool out of the FA Cup. I'd love to see that. Of course I would. Like, I'm a fan, same as you guys. Don't think that I'm almost hitting on one player. I criticize because it's warranted.
Yeah, that's it. I'm going to get into the chat, see what you guys are up to. Let's see. Mount marketing deal, Adam. No, Rajat. No, he wasn't. We're not getting into that one. Stephanie says, "Hi, Adam, Jay, and FUTV Army Legends cooking tea." So in and out of the chat. Hit the like, please, everyone. Yes, please. Please do. Pool aren't going to win this quad, says Rajat. No, let's stop him. I think we can just put it all to bed right now by beating Liverpool this weekend. West Ham doing a good business in Europe. I'll do good for our coalition points in England and the 5th place opening up. Not that we can actually make it. We have to win games to get into the 5th spot, but it's all good and something to aim for, you could say. How many times are we saying this is a tipping point game for Eric Ten Hag? Well, time's running out in the season and games are not coming any easier. We've still got Liverpool to come in the league as well. I mean, here's a question for you, Jay. What's more important, beating Liverpool in the FA Cup or beating Liverpool in the league if it means us getting closer to that Champions League spot for next year?
That's a tough question. Me, I'm a purist. I'd rather knock them out of the FA Cup.
Go for the
I'm
trophy.
a purist. Go for the trophy, win a trophy, and then you have kiboshed every possibility of them winning the quad, as they would call it, the quad. Like how is that even a bloody well thing? So yeah, I'd take knocking them out of the FA Cup. See 9,000 Scousers back to Liverpool with tails between their legs, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, guys, in the chat, let me know what you think. Would you take the FA Cup win, or if we beat Liverpool and it helped us get closer to that Champions League and that vital position to be in there in the big guns competition next season with all the rewards that come our way from it, would you take that instead? Which way would you go with it? That is the question. Not 100% to be honest. Well, I'm thinking if he has the second half. Oh, someone's talking about Rasmus Højlund in the chat there. Looks like there's a general chat going amongst everybody in there. How long to play Rasmus? Liverpool aren't bothered about FA Cup. They want the league and UEFA Cup. It could be the point, but when Liverpool play Man United, they of course want to win that game. They're not allowed, like United should be, to even think about throwing a game or looking at a different game. Right now, what is in front of us is what's important. A lot of people coming in saying the FA Cup is more important. 4 in a row straight off the bat there. FA Cup, FA Cup, FA Cup. Forget about the league. Let's concentrate on what's in front of us. I think that is important in this one. But you look at it and you go, it would be massive to get to Wembley again. It gives the fans something to look forward to, Jay, and it gets them back on side a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And let's be fair, Ten Hag didn't show himself in glory in his last FA Cup final appearance against Man City. That was a day of complete and utter capitulation in London. So Ten Hag, he owes the fans an FA Cup run. He really does. So I like to see that the people in the chat are actually agreeing with me.
Yeah, there's a lot. Everyone's agreeing. This guy says both. Greedy man. All the top players want to be in the Champions League. Have to say league. Oh, first one that said league there. That's Lee. Newbies Cubies, I'd take the Champions League. Why? Because Ten Hag won a cup last season, yet fans are still shouting sack him. This season, it means the Champions League is more important than the domestic cup. The FA Cup, I think, is worth more than the League Cup, but financially, it's worth diddly squat. That's the problem you've got. And United at the start of a rebuild, I think a lot of people would say, look, money is vital and we're in the Champions League with all the riches that comes in that new format, then we need to be in there. But I still feel like winning the FA Cup and putting another trophy on the table, I think is vital. And Ten Hag can say, look, I've won both domestic cups. Then all he's got left to win is the league, and he's won every domestic trophy. And he could be an absolute legend of the club. But I go back to when, I know it's Nostalgia Avenue again, and I'm not going to play on this at all, but Sir Alex Ferguson won that FA Cup. The Champions League wasn't really what it was back then, I know. But it was the catalyst for many trophies to come past that as well. In a season of turmoil, lifting a trophy can mean a lot. It really can. And I would go with winning the FA Cup. I would. Just to say, look, we've won another trophy. I think that's important, Jay, especially for Manchester United.
You're saying there about catalyst. So I'm just going to reference back to that. So FA Cup in 1990, European Cup Runners' Cup 1991, League Cup 1992, League Champions 1993. So there's a very, very clear path. You literally win a trophy every season. And that was the mindset of the players and the mindset of the manager. Every season, we are winning trophies. And I got to the stage, as you know, and everybody watching knows, that winning the League Cup was a trinket. Yeah, lads, tomorrow train in the morning, move on. So if you get to the final, win the FA Cup, then I'll say, okay, right, Eric, now I'll back you. But right now, I'm on defence.
Yeah, that's it. Do you feel like winning the FA Cup is enough for him to keep his job? Like looking at it from Ineos's point of view.
Yeah, I think it is because in Ineos, Brailsford, Jim Radcliffe, they're born winners. Brailsford revolutionised British cycling. British cycling was in doldrums for many years. They couldn't get on the podium at world level, and then ultimately then they were winning track world titles for fun, won the Tour de France. Who would have thought an Englishman wins the Tour de France? It's unheard of. And then we all know what Jim has done in Formula One. So they're winners. So winning is all that matters in sport. He delivers a trophy. He's bought himself 2 years or 3.
So, Anthony Wisdom says it's bloody embarrassing that we're relying on other teams to guarantee our 5th place position just to qualify for the Champions League. Just not good enough for a club of Manchester United's stature. Graham says, I want United to beat Liverpool, simple as. Beat them both times, give Klopp something to remember us by. Best comment of the day so far. We had a chance to stop City last year, not holding my breath against the Scousers. That was from Mark Lanks as well. Lee Dixon, top 4 means more to the club. It's worth more next season. I understand that, yes. Dave Sharples, Adam, I can't see United winning the league for quite a few years, but need a lot of rebuilding. Yep. Guardiola keeps winning, says Rajat. Ten Hag, anyway, will keep his job. I mean, David Ornstein has been talking about Ten Hag and his job in The Athletic, saying that there is no sign that Ten Hag is going to be walking out of Manchester United this summer. I mean, would you say that no Champions League, no FA Cup, he is gone? Or do you feel like it's sort of dying off a little bit now, the other manager talk, Jay? It's sort of, the managers that are being mentioned really aren't really an upgrade on Ten Hag. I feel that's the situation I feel right now. And I'd rather Ten Hag ahead of all of the last few that have been mentioned, to be honest.
Okay, that's a fair point. We did a show last week discussing possible managers, and none of them really got my pulses flowing. Like, we're not going to get Luis Enrique. We're not going to get Filippo Inzaghi. Zidane has no interest in managing England. The man does not want to learn English. So, is it a case, Adam, then, of the devil you know is better than the devil you don't? Mm-hmm. But to the article by Mr. Ornstein, I think he's sitting on the fence. He's not going to come out and say yes or no either way on Ten Hag. And also, if Sir Jim and Ineos were backing Ten Hag, they would give him a new contract by now. They're sitting on the fence also. It's a wait and see policy. They're waiting till May, and then they'll make a decision.
Yeah, that's it. Could you imagine beating them and stop them going for the quad? Will Klopp pull another Ame? Yeah, he can pull more than an Ame. But yeah, like the comment said before, let's give Klopp something to remember us by. He's announced his retirement. Oh, not so much his retirement, him leaving Liverpool. What a way to go out with back-to-back defeats at Old Trafford it would be. It would be the perfect 10 for United fans. We cannot allow Jurgen Klopp to finish his career with back-to-back wins at Old Trafford. That will be unforgivable for this Man United side. It really would. Don't let it happen. United Spotlight says, I miss getting deep in the Champions League. Look at the games this week. I really miss us being those huge games. I 100% want for Champions League over FA Cup. Yeah, it is horrible watching all of these Champions League games. I know it's painful watching everyone else in the competition and us doing nothing. It just seems like the weeks are just dragging on and on and on, Jay, because we're not in the competition. I mean, I can understand where people are actually going with that and prefer being in the Champions League. It kind of ruins the week a little bit not being in Europe, doesn't it, at this stage of the season? It just seems, It seems really drab, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Like, I'm there on Wednesday looking forward to watching Porto and Arsenal. I never thought in my wildest dreams I'd look forward to watching an Arsenal game. But it's midweek, like you and I and everybody watching, we've been watching Champions League and the European Cup football all our lives on a Tuesday, Wednesday night. It's part of what we do this time of year. And when you have to watch a rival, and give them credit, you know, it's a phenomenal win, and Porto credit to them as well. It just shows where we are now as a club, that we are now watching rivals midweek in Champions League football just to keep the vibe of football for us midweek. And like, did I want us playing Europa League football back in December when we finished bottom of the group? No, I didn't want Europa League football. For me, it was Champions League football or bust. So I'm actually glad we're not in the Europa League, because psychologically I checked out of that competition when Solskjaer capitulated at final in Poland.
Yeah, that was a sorry night. That it really was. I was gutted that night. That literally drained all life out of me. That penalty shootout on that night. It did. We know these players, and we heard what Ten Hag was all about. It was bound to clash at some point. Now we need to be strong and make Ten Hag get this right. I used to love us winning the FA Cup back in the day. Yeah, back in the day, the FA Cup used to really mean something. I can still remember Cantona's goal at Wembley. I can hear the noise ringing in my ears now. Like, it was just perfect. The perfect end. I mean, Jay, for you, there's a lot of FA Cup memories we can go down. I would say there's a lot. There's not as many as league games, but United at Old Trafford, best memory for you against Liverpool before we move on to some other news?
First of all, I'm going to give my FA Cup one because I'm a little bit older than you. Whiteside 85, Everton 1-0. One of the greatest goals ever in the FA Cup. That's kind of my first real childhood memory of watching football. That for me, that was it. Look, anytime. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go way back again. Diego Furlong, 2-0. Remember that?
Oh, man.
Remember Diego?
I remember that.
And Diego
very, very
had
well.
done nothing for years. And all of a sudden, boom, 2 goals. Thank you very much. Good night.
That was it. Jerzy Dudek, absolute calamity hour. That's what it was.
Yeah.
That's what it was. And what a way to endear yourself to the United faithful. Scoring a brace and winning at Anfield. That is like the ultimate that for any Manchester United player. It really is. And for Diego Forlan at stage, like you said, for what he was going through at the time, it was just perfection, wasn't it? Absolute perfection.
Yeah.
But guys, get your best Liverpool United memories in the chat right now. Let me know what yours was. If it's FA Cup, I think mine ultimately is the final at Wembley with Cantona. How he dissected our whole Liverpool squad. You could say that the whole Liverpool team were auditioning for the Matrix, the way they all moved out the way of the ball. But hey, we take the goal and then seen the Fergie dance. If you haven't seen the clip already on social media of Fergie celebrating at Cheltenham, guys, today, you need to see it. You need to see it. I think he's there with Sam Allardyce as well. I think Tyrone from Corrie was there in the background as well. But Fergie actually elated and dancing around, celebrating like he used to with the Fergie dance when United scored a goal. It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. But get your comments in. Let me know what your best memories are of the Liverpool United games of yesteryear. I mean, they can be FA Cup. They can be in the league. I mean, there's some great games, absolutely unbelievable games. But yeah, I want to move on. We'll get into them as we finish up the show later on. But Jay, in other news, Sancho United are looking, by all accounts, and I was talking about this earlier on today, but more news has come out that United are looking to sell Sancho, but they're looking to take anything they possibly can. Are we actually seeing the first signs of United understanding where they're actually at with the mistakes that they've made? Cut price, Jadon Sancho, less than half of what we paid for him is the number going around at the moment. Is this sensible for you? Is this needs be? Needs must even?
So whether or not Ten Hag is there next year, I wouldn't take Sancho back. His attitude stinks. He's had 3 seasons at the club. A lot of our fans are losing their minds because he was half decent on the US tour and off season. Can you recall any games where Sancho literally ripped it up for us? I can't. So cut price deal signed for what, 75 mil or thereabouts. So we get 40.
They're talking,
I think it's a matter of
talking 35 possibly is the number going around as well. That they will just do anything to get him gone, trying to sweeten the deal for Borussia Dortmund and take him back.
And the biggest problem as well is also he's inflated wages. What, 320, 330 a week or north of that.
Mm-hmm.
So basically then, would the Glazers not be phoning up Ed and say, Ed, listen, mate, you negotiate that deal. What the hell were you at? That's on you, mate. That's solely on Ed Woodward. And also, our former manager chased after him for what, a full year? Didn't get him. We went back into following season. So there's a few people there in that signing proves that their negotiation skills and their talent ID were shocking. So 35, 40 mil, it's a case of needs must. you've cut your claw. You've made a loss. You got to move on.
I think someone like Sancho has to go. We need to find the money from somewhere to help cover the cost of not making the Champions League. 40 million for Greenwood. Is that enough for you, Jay? That was another one that was talked about earlier on today and yesterday. Is that enough for him? Would you take that just to get rid of that situation?
Morally, yes, I would. Morally, yes, 40 mil, get him gone, don't want him back. But wearing a cold, hard business head, that kid is probably worth north of 75 to 100 million. So surely they can get more than 40 million for Greenwood. Surely, send Sir Jim and his negotiation crew in that job. Don't let John Murto absolutely anyone near it, because it'll really be a case with Jack and the Beanstalk. He'll come back with some vouchers or a youth team player part exchange.
Yeah, Rajat saying I don't really want Elise. Rashford 75 million, Sancho 30. Ten Hag on the boat back to Holland. Now that would be good business. 30 mil max United can get for Sancho, says Graham. 35 Sancho, 75 Rashford, 110. That's the new striker sorted, says Leo. Well, the other news today is that, and it come from Sky as well, and a few other people, that Marcus Rashford isn't going to be going to PSG. If Marcus Rashford isn't going PSG, Jay, is that Marcus Rashford staying put at Manchester United?
Oh,
I don't think there's anyone else to buy him, personally.
So basically, we're stuck with him on those extortionate wages. And he's now in his mid-20s. He's already peaked. So the next part of his career is decline. When he loses his pace, he's going to stay in decline. Won't tackle now, won't track back, pull the 50-50s, can't win a header, can't cross, won't cross, shoots from the most innate angles, one stellar season in 5, and we're stuck with him on 315, 320 a week on those wages. He's going to use his pace, and we can't move him on. If he's not moved on this summer, Adam, I think we are stuck with him.
Yeah, on a big contract, like you said, a long contract. The club are defending their position on Rashford heavily. I don't see right now, with the noises coming out right now, I'm looking more towards Rashford staying. I'm one that wants him gone. I don't think we can move forward with him. I don't think he's good enough to take United to that next level. I've made that very clear. I've said all along, I don't think he would go simply because there's so much business to do before him. And if PSG don't come in for him this summer, I would be like you, Jay. I would be thinking, I don't know how we're going to get rid of him if we want to get rid of him. The club, I don't know what they see. I don't know what the managers are protecting him for. Like, he is the one that is letting these managers down continuously with poor performances. There is nothing consistent about him at all. And until the club really make a major statement, I don't think we're going to move forward, because if anything, if Ineos do back Ten Hag or a new manager, I can see Rashford being sat on the bench next season. We've got another highest earning player sat on the bench next season if that's the case, because anyone with sense would not play Marcus Rashford. If you had the opportunity to go out and strengthen your front line, you're going to go and strengthen, if anything, the position that Marcus plays, because you've got good potential in Garnacho. No one's replacing Højlund right now, and it may be more of a hybrid left player, maybe / can cover the middle type of player. So effectively, we're going to have Marcus sat on the bench next season.
Yeah, but look at the history. We did something similar with Pogba, long-term contract, massive money. We've done it with Rashford. Same thing with Anthony. Another player north of 70 million on major wages. You won't get rid of him. We've done it with Sancho. It seems to be this flawed business model that the club has had for many years. Sign a player. Oh yeah, and how could I forget my favorite number 9, Tony Sicknote Martial. 250 a week, 12 million a year, 60 mil, 5-year contract. So what's the key common denominator here? Average players that had one stellar season, signed up long-term contracts, massive wages, and then it comes to, oh shit, they're underperforming. We can't get rid of them. We can't sell them. They go out on loan. They think the place up. Manager comes in. He doesn't fancy them. Sorry, mate. You got to play him. He's on a long contract. It's a cycle, Adam, continues. And if Ineos don't sort this out this season, this off season, my confidence in Ineos performing a root and branch revolution in that club will diminish very, very fast.
Mm. Bexy says in the chat there, when Highland is out, when Highland is out the team, you notice him gone. When Rashford is out, you don't notice him. That true. I think United actually perform better without Rashford at the moment. He's there for his moments. That's what Rashford's there for. He's got numbers and he can do something like he did against City, like he did against Wolves. The club had just posted a social media post out saying 2-2 for our number 10. Like, oh my God. One hit that was a hit and hope, and the penalty. It's not worth bragging about. It really isn't. And you only have to look across to who our opponents are this weekend. And what can they tweet about, or what can they post on social media? Well, they can post about a team that is absolutely dying on their feet for their manager, that is in 4 trophies, already won 1. And United are talking about 2-2 for our number 10. Whoa, what a difference. What a difference a season makes, eh? Absolutely mental. Back into the chat, guys. Get your comments coming in. I'm coming to you now. Graham says, United need another number 9 before thinking about replacing Rashford. And Jay, beyond May, you won't need to speak about Martial again. No, Graham is right, Jay. Beyond then, we are rid of at least one Demick from the football club. And that will be a monumental moment, I feel, for a lot of United fans. It will be the end of Mr. Sick Note. In terms of the number 9, I don't think they will, Graham. I think they'll buy a hybrid. I think it'll be a player that can play in 2 positions because you know what the club are like. I think if they're going to make a significant signing, it'll be someone that can fit in on the left-hand side and maybe work alongside Rasmus Højlund and then can cover him when needs be. I think that's the way they'll go with it. Eriksen and Martial should have got booted last season. Ten Hag signed 90 million Antony, where we need a striker. Then goes and gets Mount for no reason. Mason Mount coming back, Jay. There's another topic I've been talking about this week. If Ten Hag doesn't play him from this point to the end of the season when he can, is he a bit of a fool? Because everyone's been crying out for something different, and I think you have got that there in Mason Mount.
Okay, so the Mount signing I never got. We didn't need him. Ten Hag was never going to play Mount ahead of Bruno unless he pushed Bruno out to right wing or drop Bruno. So why do you sign Mount? 50 million for a player with 1 year left in the contract. Bad business and a poor signing on behalf of Ten Hag. Fan base now it's like, because we haven't hardly seen Mount play, I think a lot of us are basing Mount on the year he won the Champions League with Chelsea. Yeah, prime Mount, I'm going to call it. And we're expecting prime Mount is going to suddenly come in after playing hardly football all season and all of a sudden take the bull by the horns in that midfield. Adam, I want to see it, but logic would dictate it's not going to happen. And to your point, if he doesn't start, and he's not a start between now and May, well, then that proves categorically that was a major poor decision on behalf of Ten Hag signing him in the first place.
That is true. That is true. A couple of comments there that I disagree with. Henry says, Adam, don't you get it? Rashford is the brand. He makes a lot of money for the club and they don't care about what he does on the pitch. Am I wrong? Well, you are wrong if you're not listening to Sir Jim Radcliffe, because it's all about the football. It doesn't matter about the money. So we'll see where Ineos' plans are, because they're watching what we're watching, and I just feel like if they had any sense, they'd be looking to try and move Marcus Rashford on. I just fear that there is too much traffic in front of him in terms of what else needs to be done first this summer, and he'll end up still being at the club next season. Boxing Straight Talk, another one I disagree with on this. Rashford's best position is centre forward. Are you joking me? No, it's not.
What?
He is not a centre forward, mate, and he won't even play there. He says it's madness. Martial is a waste of skin. I do agree with that in some part in terms of the Martial bit being a waste of time. But Marcus Rashford is not a centre forward. Not a centre forward. Graham says Mount signed as a number 8, not a 10. We don't know that, Graham, because he hasn't played him yet. And when he has played him, it has been between 10 and 8. So a versatile player, you can say that. Yes, I hate versatile players. I'd rather a master of one trade and not a jack of all. I just think we want players in positions we know are going to play there, stay there, and nail down that position. Build up a partnership with someone alongside him. The more you chop and change and play players in different positions, they're starting to try and build that camaraderie, them partnerships, that understanding between the player on that side at different stages. It's a mess. It's like, I've said this before on a few shows, Jay, but like Man City, you know where their players are going to play. You know where Liverpool's players are going to play. Arsenal, when they line up and you see the lineup on a team sheet, you can go and put them players in a position. Man United at the moment, I'm like, I don't know where certain players are going to... The only players I know are going to play in their position are Onana and Højlund. Maybe Casemiro was the holding midfielder. But everyone else, mate, could be anywhere else on the pitch. Got Dalot on the left, Dalot on the right. I've seen Wan-Bissaka on the left-hand side. The centre-backs have switched positions left and right. God knows where Rashford and Garnacho are playing at the moment. They could be either side as well. For me, it works better when you build partnerships, i.e. the left-hand side works full-back and wide left player. And the same on the other side. You can see how it works. That partnership starts to build, doesn't it? But, my God, like, we United, I just don't know at the moment. That's the problem we've got, I feel.
Yeah, there's a retired pundit in Ireland. His name is Johnny Giles. He played for Leeds, won European Cup at Leeds, and actually won FA Cup at United in the 50s. And Johnny always said on TV, football's a simple game. Put your best players in their best positions and let them play.
Yeah.
That was his football philosophy. And to your point there, Adam, Ten Hag isn't doing that. Now, there are some mitigating factors with injuries. I do take that part on board. But for the most part, the last 2 seasons, have we seen a discernible... everyone's fit. That's your starting 11. They start every week. And this player plays here, there. It doesn't happen with him. It just doesn't happen. City do it. Liverpool do it. Barcelona do it. All the top clubs do it. But our manager seems devoted doing it.
That is a worry, isn't it? Guy Rothwell with a renewed membership. Thank you so much. Member now for his first month. New medical staff. They are getting top of the range vet. Buddy Johnson says they got to be up for the fight on Sunday. We are at home and they have to put a shift in. We are Man United, he says. A few more comments flying in. A few people laughing at certain comments there. I wonder which one. Thomas says, when Rashford's name is called out, fans should boo him every time. I wouldn't go that far. I'm not a booer, me. I get behind every player that's on that pitch in the stadium. I do plenty of moaning afterwards, as you all know. We all sort of have our say on the game. We criticise what we think was right. What was wrong, and praise what was right. But when we're actually in the stadium, you need to be behind every single player, and I will always be that. If Rashford scores, of course, I'm going to be bouncing around, cheering with everyone else. That's what being a fan is all about, is the moments in the stadium. And if we get the moments against Liverpool this weekend, it will go so far into reconnecting them players with the fans. I just hope the players understand that and hope they realise. They'll say that they do, and they'll know how important this game is. But if they crumble in this game, and it's mainly the same players that turned up last season and turned up at Anfield, there's no excuse. You've done it before. If you crumble now, it will automatically look, Jay, in my opinion, like they really don't want the manager there. It is the perfect opportunity to show that you are right behind Ten Hag this weekend for this team, and they need to turn up and do it. Otherwise, the fan base will turn, and it will turn sour very, very quickly.
Yeah, that's a good point. Turn sour very quickly. A lot of fan base has already turned on the manager, and I think match-going fans, including yourself, are very slow to turn on players. And rightly so. You've got to back the players on the pitch when they're on the pitch. But after the game, when you see them in the flesh, when you see lack of basic enthusiasm to do your job in any walk of life, you're thinking, well, this person shouldn't be here. I don't want this person here in 3 months' time. I can't depend on them. So you have a player that loses a tackle, pulls out a tackle, won't track back, and just even covered it. We're not even talking now beating 2 or 3 players, putting across in the box, just basic stuff. Get tight to your man, track back, put a tackle in, play a pass, run, receive a pass. If you see players not doing these basic things, you're thinking, Jesus, do they actually care? Do they want to be here? And Sunday will tell a story.
It certainly will tell a story. It will. Guys, that pretty much sums up our look ahead, covering all news with Jay, having a catch up there and looking ahead to the Liverpool game. I know it's 3 days early, but this is the last chance I'll get to see Jay before we are talking on Sunday. There is going to be a late night breakdown show with me and Jay on Sunday after the game, guys. Make sure you do tune into that one. Everything that's going on this weekend. There's an awful lot going on. Stay tuned. Obviously, I will keep everyone posted as to what is happening. But yeah, Sunday is going to be huge. Absolutely huge. So if you are at the game and you want to have your say on it and get on the channel, make sure you come over to us. You know where we are. If you're unsure, get in the comment section, message us. We will be live before the game at at Old Trafford. We'll be live outside the stadium. It'll be a sort of paper realm / matchday vibes video on match day. So yeah, get your comments in there. I will let you know where we are and where we're going to be. And yes, make sure you get over and have your voice heard as well. Get your opinions in. We love that on this channel. But Jay, absolute pleasure as always, mate. Just give the people a shout out to your socials, where they can catch you and what you'll be shouting out on Sunday on Twitter, no doubt.
So it's St. Patrick's Day here in Ireland, so I got to stay sober at least for the game from a show with Adam. But after that, all bets are off. It's JD Mourinho on Twitter, and then I'm doing little post-match snippets on TikTok as Real J Daily. So get on there, interact, and take the piss, guys. I love a bit of crack and banter. I'm Irish.
That's it, guys. That's it. Get on there, get into it, make it happen, and I will see you all tomorrow. Tomorrow we are live outside Old Trafford. The man himself, Mr. Andy Tate, is with me. We have got a big weekend planned on the channel, and Andy is going to be all over it with us as well. It's a huge game, and we're covering everything. So make sure you tuned in tomorrow, everybody. We are live outside Old Trafford. If you're about, come and say hello to us as well, because we'll be there, and we'll get you on as well. That's what it's like. Like, share, and subscribe to Forever United TV, guys, on your way out, especially if you are tuning in for the first time. Really appreciate all your comments again, as always, everyone. We will see you tomorrow. Have a fantastic evening.